You are now listening to Gust of Wanderlust, a Q&A special. This is a question for the group, but I guess technically it's only me and Sam that can answer it. How did the idea for the podcast come about? Me and Sam played D&D for a couple sessions, and then I listened to a lot of D&D podcasts, and I was like, hey Sam, do you want to start a D&D podcast?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? How hard can it be?
Yeah, and then Sam said yes, and then here we are.
12 years went by.
Yeah, a few years went by where we were just sort of, oh yeah, let's do it. And then it didn't happen. And then when we first started it, we had two other people here who aren't here now, and Matt wasn't here originally. And then we got rid of them two because they couldn't fit our schedule. And then we got Matt in.
Yeah, you brought in the one person who could effectively replace two people on his own. And you know what? I've never said you're welcome for that, but I think it was implied.
But you will hear from them in the future because they are on the guest list.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was basically me and Sam's brain baby that we had. And then here it is. Rayla, that's your question.
Me? My question? Okay, well, so my new question is, what part of D&D or tabletop RPGs in general do you like the most? So, like, what aspect of it?
When you guys are role-playing and I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, social interaction by far.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's the roleplay.
I could take combat out of the game and I wouldn't mind. Not that I don't like combat. I love combat. I like seeing like creativity when it comes to combat. But personally for me, it's social completely. As you could probably tell by Neil.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fish when it comes to D&D because I love the combat and I love the social aspect equally.
You gotta pick one.
But yeah, I think it's the choice, to be honest.
Agreed.
The mental freedom.
Yeah, being able to create a story, isn't it?
Constraints. Yeah, and being able to do it together, and to be able to absolutely ruin the mentality of the dungeon master.
I think for me, it's realistically D&D is the one, like, the closest to being a pure way of sharing a creative vision with people. And if you're doing that with people you enjoy doing things with generally, then you get to make something that you're incredibly proud of. It's just a swelling of ideas that is so much more than something you could do on your own. And I love it.
I haven't played that much at all, so since this is my first like substantial experience of what a TTRPG can be like, I'm an ideas person. Like I always like to say on this podcast, I'm an ideas person. I like to come up with ideas. So I agree with sort of like the consensus here, the social storytelling part of it, and the fact that it feels like ever since I started playing Dungeons and Dragons, my ideas have become more creative and they spark up more easily, and it makes me want to tell my own stories. But it kind of like all of a sudden I'm in my creative era. No, but usually when you go on every day without doing something like this, it's kind of like practicing to be creative in a way, because you don't normally get in moments like this where you can just let fantastical ideas fly wild. Most people's everyday life might be very boring, or might be very monotonous, driven on routine. So it's hard to like connect with that inner child once again. So that's why I like it. I think a lot of the collective storytelling part. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I forgot one thing. I love being able to create a plan in game. And what's the word? Connive? Is it connive? Plan it and like act on that plan like something so elaborate and so crazy, and watch it burn or watch it succeed. That is, especially for Neil, that's
great.
why I made him, because he's so
Conniving?
eccentric. Yeah, conniving.
So
Conniving, absolutely.
Conniving.
I love being able to do that in D&D, and having the flexibility to do that, I think is what I miss, or what I don't get from like a video game.
Yeah.
Like playing a video game, you get the combat, you get the story, but you don't get to make those crazy decisions which you'd never think of.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like making crazy plans and hoping they work.
Yeah. Lateral thinking is forced. It's not like you can't get around thinking laterally in D&D.
As you'll see in episode 11.
Someone roll a d10. Anyone, roll a d10.
10.
Oh, this is another good one for the group. If you had to swap characters with another player, whose would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Ah, okay.
I already know Neil.
Oh, okay.
100%. I love dwarves, I love bards, and I don't think I could do the other characters justice. I think I would have a little... I can see some of me in Neil. Maybe not the alcoholism, maybe not the arthritis, but a lot of the other aspects. Not being a minor either. Honestly, we probably don't have that much in common. But I think I could play as him.
That's a really tough question. But Sam, after you.
I think I'd play the Catawampus.
Oh yeah.
He just is such a chaos goblin to play, but in like a controlled way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
If that
controlled
makes
in a
sense.
chaotic way. Yeah, 100%. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
you have that. You don't even know what you're gonna do half. Well, you know, but you can have the rough idea, and then it's like,
No.
whoa, what will happen now? What will the yellow say?
I will say the difficulty I've had thus far has been basically trying to ensure that there are rules to what I do. Because it can't just be, the whims have to be relatively controlled to not be a problem. It's trying to make sure there's rules, trying to be inactive at points so I can be more active at others. So, it's a fun balance to strike, I'd say. But I'd take Peer. I'd take Peer, not only
That's
because
crazy.
of my personal love for vegetables as well, but I think also because realistically I've always loved fighters. Fighters are a lot of fun, but on top of that, dude, being a fucking centaur that just charges into shit and then goes in an Irish accent, mildly without meaning it, sorry, is like the best shit ever.
Now, Charlie,
Mm.
this is where there's a big idea in play, because I think the only person I could play would be Casper.
Ooh.
So now we all have to swap, because we all pick into. Because I'll give you reason why. I can't play Peer purely for the accent. That's it. Hands down, I can't do accents. I can't play the Catawampus because I think Matt purposely creates characters that I can't play or understand.
Targeted.
Matt knows that. And Casper is very chaotic. I think you do.
Just so if ever this question comes up, he'll never pick you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a Freaky Friday situation.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Freaky
That's what I
Friday.
was thinking. I think I could play Casper differently, but I could play Casper. I think I'd be okay. And I like the mystery behind Casper, so that excites me.
Mystery, yeah, there's a lot of mysteries, but I think that goes for most of us.
Most of you at the moment.
To be fair, I think the one character I would struggle playing in this group, like legitimately struggle to play, is Casper. Mainly because I can't play friendly people.
Can you imagine?
Me playing just an outwardly nice person who doesn't have other shit behind his head at all times is not something I'm used to. Like
I think you should play a
should-
normal
it should be a
character at some point, Matt,
challenge.
because I've never
Yeah.
seen you play. Yeah, I've always seen you play just like these.
Eccentric people.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Which is
good
kind of
at.
what I'd expect. Exactly, I wouldn't expect anything else, but I feel like you should give it a go. Maybe on a one shot.
Yeah, maybe one time we should all play characters very much outside of our comfort zone. Just once.
Someone roll me a d10.
A 1.
1. This is a question for Neil.
Mm.
If Neil could play any other instrument, what would it be?
He does play other instruments. but you haven't asked that question. So, if he could choose one to play, it would be the saxophone.
Ooh, I
Hands
love
down.
it.
Can he play it or?
He can play other instruments.
Okay.
I will not elaborate because it wasn't asked.
Well, I'm asking that now. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna have that as my next question, or it could be your last question, Charles.
I will answer it if you like.
I mean, I already know, so.
Oh, okay.
I already thought of a new question, so it's fine. That's Taylor. Taylor, you need to ask a question.
Oh, goodness. I have asked one for Zakatavumpus already, so I would ask one to Pia. Now, Pia,
Hello.
this is something that's always interested me. Why would Pia leave the Forge for a bodyguard gig?
A Gust of Wanderlust. No, so
Hey.
it kind of stems back to his days as a mercenary. The Forge was just kind of a way to get by and remember who he was.
Mm.
And he was at a stage when he left where he was kind of confident in who he still couldn't remember much, but he remembered enough to be like, okay, I remember I have these friends out there somewhere that I don't know if they lived or died the battle. Because I literally just woke up in Ostbourne at Amelia's place. Not knowing a fucking wank what happened. So he did his best to survive and remember himself, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this as a side gig, and the tour came along, and this is an opportunity to go find his friend.
So he's using the tour
Basically,
to get free
yeah.
travel. Fair enough.
Literally, yeah. I mean, he respects people enough, and he does his job well. He likes everyone as company, even though they can be a bit irritating as time. But yeah, he ultimately was just there because it's a bit of convenient travel.
Yeah, fair. Thank you.
Roll me another D10, please.
You're welcome.
That's another one.
This is a question for Zakatavumpus.
Oh, hello.
How many children has Zakatavumpus curb stomped? In relation to episode 9, where you described the whims and you mentioned if Zakatavumpus was told to curb stomp a child, he would curb stomp it.
I mean, the fortunate and operative word there would have been would. So, it would be very easy for me to say that he hasn't done it. However, I know he's done it at the very least once.
Oh. Well then. I bet that child was a right brat.
Oh, well. Okay. Roll me another D10, please.
That is a 7.
This is a question for the group. What has everyone's favourite moment in the podcast been so far?
Ooh, that's hard.
Well, I can answer that.
Okay.
So I edited an episode where it happened. One thing that I remember that I really, really enjoyed was the shenanigans in the forest, like all of them. But the fact that we took so freaking long to investigate that freaking pond.
The fact that Neil rolled so well to begin with, and then towards the end just rolled awfully, was just
That
sod's
was
law, I
amazing.
think, more,
That was one of the best things.
But obviously Neil knew exactly where he was going.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, but that pond specifically, the fact that we were doing a fucking water nymph count just to discern whether we should lick it or not. So yeah, that's a fun part. Also, the shenanigans at the well.
Fucking eels.
The eel well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that we had to kill an eel and we didn't just walk away from it.
Yeah.
I always think about that moment.
Yeah,
Like,
that
why
Could
did
have
we
had
not just
space
walk away?
race.
I think my favourite moment is definitely Jeff and getting all of that information from the cultists. Like, that's classic Neil, in my opinion. Like, getting in with a crowd of people, getting all of the information possible, and trying to become friendly with them. Like, just being able to, like, jump in and be as social as hell. I think that's one of my favourite moments so far. As well as, obviously, all of my performances, because Neil's singing is just fantastic.
Yeah, I think my favourite moment is definitely something that hasn't happened yet. But like, other than that, I it's not a moment, but like legitimately, just the relationship between Casper and Boris is so entertaining to me. So yeah, that's got to be the thing that I'm liking the most at that. Like either that or the whole like pen saga I've been enjoying.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's more plot lines for me rather than moments. Like specific moments, not so much.
Again, the eel pool is one that stands out, and like getting down that rock face into that
into the hole.
into the hole as mountain goat
so
beer
good.
going down. That was pretty funny.
One thing that I like, listen back to episode 9, or was it episode 10? I can't remember. When we all talk about reviewing the campaign so far and how our characters feel, I really enjoyed that part. And purely just us trying to cook on the boat, mate. Even just that moment, I think is funny.
Oh,
that
the
was
fucking
brilliant.
Like
That was
Casper
so
giving me
good.
a rat to cook, and we just chop it up and throw it out the window, while Matt's just automatically rolling a nat 20s to cut up this fish, and yeah, it's just funny.
Yes, I remember that. Okay,
It's just funny moments like that, just little things.
We need to look it up because that is definitely something that could become an animatic or animated short.
That's why I love D&D, because moments like that, like you would expect things like combat to be memorable, but then we remember a patch where we're just trying to make a stew, and it's just funny.
Talking of like, I think I may have actually changed my mind. Like, there is one moment that I adore, and it was to do with fucking Casper, and it was to do with combat, and that was the discovery of the cloaca.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
The entire podcast is my favorite moment, of course, but
Boo, boo.
but there's one moment in, I think, episode 4 or 5, maybe. Casper has just begun talking to Boris, and you're in like the hopeful mayor's office, and you're like getting the contract to go to see the Empress and everything, and Casper's describing this voice he's hearing in his head, and he's like, yeah, he's just talking about doing fatherly things with me, and then Neil goes, well, he doesn't sound like a bad man. That really made me laugh. And also in episode 9, when you discover Airgun is lying about where he got the money from, and Casper stands on a chair and yells, liar! The whole first conversation between Casper and Zagadavumpus, which we have animated, is fantastic. I love that moment.
It's like a perfect combination of two characters. Like how they're so different, and they role played it so well together. It was I like that. You're right. That was a good point.
Yeah, and then later on, the birth of Jesus, the carpenter.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus the carpenter.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, all the Butter's Bakery stuff as well. To be
Oh
fair,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the fact that it's sponsored by that.
I'm actively eating more turnovers.
Well, technically, we're not
Because of this.
sponsored.
So am I.
We just kind of convinced ourselves that we are to feel better about what Airgun did.
Yes.
That reminds me
very
of
true.
We're sponsored.
7 Elven. I freaking love the fact
Oh,
that that's a
Seven
thing.
Elven.
yeah, that's great shit.
7 Elven.
Oh yeah, Greg's with 1G as well.
Yeah. Good old Greg's with 1G.
Good shit.
He's a good lad.
Fantastic fella.
We're on with a D8 this time.
8.
Not including yourself, who is everyone's favourite character?
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
favorite character. That's
That's a
important.
bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit divisive.
Are we doing NPCs as well?
Can
or
I say
just-
Jesus? I've always loved Jesus.
You can't say NPC because that's a different question.
Okay, characters, player characters. Fine.
But I hate them all equally.
I mean, let's put it out there. I think all of our characters have a lot of thought put into them. I think all of the characters are played really well by each specific person. But I think my favourite is the Catavumpus.
Yeah, thank you. I was expecting that, and nah, mine's Casper. I fucking adore Casper. I find it hilarious, but I have a soft spot for nice characters for a previously mentioned reason.
We'll see if he's gonna become corrupted or not by the end of the campaign.
Oh, dude, even corrupted
find
Casper
out.
is going to be a friendly bastard.
Probably.
I'm like, it's going to be hilarious.
I'm going to kill you, if you don't mind.
This is probably the hardest question of tonight, really, because
It is hard.
again, I love all of the other characters that you guys have made, and for different reasons. Like there are aspects of them that I really, really like, which is also why, I mean, I'm gonna gravitate to Neil again, just because I see Neil as a character that I could play personally, and therefore I'm a bit biased.
I think you should give him a go.
Yeah, give
Put
me
on an
a-
old man voice.
I think Neil, I would, personally.
Aw.
Yeah. Not that, again, everyone else is kind of equal, but I think the way, Pierre and Neil act. and
It
I
is
love
good
this.
fun.
He's a funny
Mm.
boy.
We
They're
have fun.
Interesting duo, in a way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then Sam, your question.
Charlie, you haven't answered the
Yeah, you
question.
need to
Oh,
answer
me?
the
You want me?
question. Who's your
You want me to
favourite?
answer it?
Who's your favourite?
My favorite out of all of you, Christ.
None of them.
Um,
Pricks.
Oh boy, I don't know. I love all of you.
This is like a moment where it's like
Pick your
you
favorite.
ask your parents.
Yeah.
Pick your
You
Yeah.
ask
Pick
your
my
parents
favourite
who's your best
child.
sibling. Yeah, who's your favorite child? Yeah, that's it.
For the moment, at episode 10, which we are at, and in terms of character shenanigans, I guess, Neil.
Neil wins.
Completely
For
agree. yeah.
at the moment, but again, I love all of them. You can't fucking make me pick. Oh yeah, Sam, your question time.
This one is for the DM.
Oh fuck.
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Directed.
Okay.
Yes. Which NPC did you expect us to ignore, but we became obsessed with?
Jeff.
Oh shit, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any other ones that. Yeah, but he's not in the show yet.
Shh, shh, shh. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Yeah, it's Jeff. I don't think there's any other character you guys have met yet in the podcast that you've been obsessed with. You're not obsessed with Airgun. He just is there. Yeah, I think it's Jeff.
Is Jeff still alive?
I can't tell you that.
Yeah, he's the only true one.
Yeah, it's Jeff. Yeah, it's Jeff.
It's
Hands
Jeff.
down.
Yeah.
I still look at that note every day.
Jeff's a beautiful boy.
And that's not Neil, that's Taylor.
Man.
I look at that note.
What a man.
It was literally the fucking meme. My name,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Jeff! That's the way you say it as well. Jeff!
Okay, roll me a d8, please.
2.
2. This is a question for the group. Oh, who's everyone's favorite NPC?
Jeff.
Ooh.
Amelia.
Okay, Amelia. Yeah,
Amelia.
it's a good one.
Non-biased reasons.
I'm having a hard time deciding between Bisk
Mm,
or Boris.
mm.
Boris is fucking great.
Boris
I fucking
is
love Boris.
it's very funny, but Bisk has a specific place in my heart. You know?
I think I got mine.
I can't pick Boris personally because the whole reason Boris works is because he got tandemed with like Casper. Like it would be a whole like different
Yeah.
dynamic, and the reason
If it
why
was
it's so
anyone
funny
else.
is because like it's the classic comedic dynamic.
Mhm.
It wouldn't have worked with any of us. It wouldn't work with me, Sam, or Matt. It only would have worked with Rayla.
No.
I think that's what's clear.
I'm sure it'd been good. Like I think it would have worked with
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
But like the reason
think
why
it's
Boris
so
is so
perfect.
fucking good is because it's the natural pairing. It just worked out so well in that regard.
But I think Zekatawampus hearing Boris would be interesting because of the whole whims part of it.
Mm.
You know, would he interpret it as the whims speaking to him? Like suddenly the whims have a voice, or you know, that it would somehow impact how he acts moving forward if the roles had been reversed?
I think more likely what would happen is you would just have an incredibly exasperated and frustrated Boris. like shouting and screaming every now and again, and Zakanavumpus just not understanding a single thing he means. Like,
I mean, I have mine. Mine's obviously air gun, so I love air gun.
I was thinking of air gun.
Oh, yeah.
It quite surprises me, but air gun's up there for me. Along with actually, I really liked Brittlebone.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name was.
Captain Broken Bones.
Broken Bones. Thank you. I don't know why
Is
I
it
keep thinking
Broken Bones?
Bones.
Broken Bones, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
he
with
just-
Broken Bones. Yeah.
Okay.
He gave Neil a hat, and he's got a good voice. He's just so like, I don't know. He's like, how do you drive the boat?
Captain Broken
I don't know.
Bones.
Yeah, like that and air gun for me. They're winners, I think.
I just like Airgun for his accent, really.
Oh, mate,
Yeah,
don't
it's
worry
good.
about it.
It is good.
Don't
good.
worry about anything. I've got it all sorted.
I like his nonchalantness.
Yeah.
Nonchalantness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need another D8, please.
How many D8s do
I
you
wanna-
need?
You make some very consistent NPCs, Charlie. It's very good.
Thank you.
8.
Okay, this is a question for you guys. What enemy type or friendly group of people are you most excited to potentially meet / encounter / fight?
Enemy type.
Enemy type or friendly group of people.
Enemy type or friendly group of.
So to encounter, I've never fought a dragon.
Mm.
No, weirdly, I don't think I
Always
have
wanted.
either.
I've never played a dragon in my D&D campaign. I have been saving a dragon for one of my D&D games for 10 years. I don't want it to be nothing. I want it to be
Yeah,
like a massive event, you know.
Oh, Charlie, please do your best to fuck it up. Just make it the worst experience ever. That would be amazing. just like a fat dragon who has severe hemorrhoids comes along.
You
Oh,
just
no.
stab one and that's it. Just
Yeah, it's like,
bleeding.
oh no, no, I yield.
Yeah, I've always wanted to fight a dragon. That'd be
Mhm.
fun.
2 options over here.
Ooh,
So, Casper's family. They're a nice group of people. Very interesting. I remember when we were brainstorming my character and writing it, and let's just say that. Are there over 15 characters with
Yeah, Casper
Huh?
has
Personalities
so
and,
many NPCs.
and what they do, what they work as. They
Wow.
have their classes and
Is there a village of Caspers?
there's a lot of work that has gone into fleshing out these characters, not necessarily how they are detailed wise, like personality and everything, but who they are, sort of. So that could be interesting to see. But other than that, Boris, meeting actual Boris.
That's a very fair point. Yeah.
Ooh.
Because that will be an interesting encounter.
Anything in yellow for both question.
Yellow dragon.
Yellow dragon, gold dragon, bronze dragon.
dragon.
That's just a little bit like piss dragon. Yeah.
Piss breath.
Anyone in golden armor. Anyone with golden skin that happens to be wearing armor or not armor. Just.
Piss breath. Oh, piss breath. Oh, that's funny. It just
Mate.
smells like a urinal.
It's just urine.
Zakanavumpus would stand right in the middle of that. He finally knows what the Zavim smells like.
Oh God.
I'd like to meet my friends again. All of them at the same place. I've had the vision happen so far, haven't I? The visions happen, so I know what the fucking big
Yeah,
monkey man.
yeah, you've had that.
I want to kill him again. He's dead,
Ooh,
but I
I
want to
can't.
fight one.
I hope we do too.
Oh, I need to have my revenge on one of them.
Big monkey
is
man?
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the
I
thing
hate-
from his flashback.
Yeah.
The thing that chucked me off a cliff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much me summed up.
Okay, Matt, question, please.
Alright, you can have enough money or support as you need to pursue your passion to the fullest for the rest of your life, but the fulfillment you get from said passion is forever halved in comparison to the level it would be if you earned it yourself. Or, instead of that, you can have 2 cakes that you'll eat, but aren't ones that you're particularly fond of.
Well, for me, it's easy. It's the 2 cakes.
Am I answering this or is Pierre answering this?
All of my questions are designed for your characters, but you can answer it if you want as well, I guess.
What kind of cake?
It's any 2 cakes, but none of them will be ones that you particularly like.
This is an easy
They're
one.
just like they're mild to bad.
Yeah, I'd say for me personally, because I think this one is easy for me personally, and that is the cakes, because I don't have a particular passion that I would want to pursue. Like specifically, like I like most things. Therefore, also I like most cakes, even if they are slightly bad. So it's a win for me.
Yeah, I like most cakes, so I'll pick the
Yeah,
cakes.
exactly. We're the same.
What would Casper do?
Oh, that is
Harder.
no, that's also cake. Because he would see the instant reward of the cake.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So it's...
I'm really struggling.
Oh no.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh shit.
Here, I think his ultimate goal is creation, and he at the end of everything, he wants to make useful things. He didn't want to make flamethrowers that mowed down a field of enemies. He didn't want to forge armor that could stop blows. He wanted to build irrigation methods and farming tools to help his friends. So I think he might forego the satisfaction just because the fact that the satisfaction itself is knowing that he has made the difference in the first place, as opposed to it's not his satisfaction to have it, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's a surprisingly not violent answer. Wow.
Yeah, taking it as a very sacrificial thing, just going, I know now what I'll do, and I will stick to my conviction, even if I don't believe in it as much when it happens.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, pretty much. He'll just do it.
That's a nice answer.
He has a heart. It's
Yeah,
just
that's noble,
shrouded.
yeah.
Yeah. He'd take the hit.
I've been struggling on this, okay? But I think, so just to make sure I get this right, you get enough money to support and pursue your passion to the fullest, but you get half as, basically, half of excitement from the passion, right?
You are fulfilled. You're half as fulfilled.
I want to mass produce the pen. That's what Neil wants. That's his passion. That's all that he thinks about. Mass produce this pen so that he can have all of the pens. And he can spread the joy of it, you know? He can spread... No, he don't care about that. He just wants the pen. He wants a pen. Any pen that is the same pen, whether he gets half the amount fulfillment from it or not, he wants that pen.
Do you know, I found that hilarious because, that's not what I was expecting to happen, but that's so very Neil in the fact that it is one of those Sisyphean, bargains, right? When it's you're just constantly trying to get... it's oh no, just another 500. That'll be enough. That'll fill me up. But it's never there. It's never where you need it to be. So you just constantly turn the entire planet into pens. It's the paperclip paradox.
Yeah, that's I think where, because I could say my musical passion, but then he doesn't want to lose that passion for it, if you know what I mean.
No.
But then he wants to make sure he's happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I go with. I will get that pen.
What would this kind of umpus do?
That is a tough one because I thought about this and initially I was just like, oh no, fuck it, he'll go with the cakes because a lot of cakes are yellow. But if it's not one that he's particularly fond of, then none of them will be yellow. There's no way that they'll be yellow. So he would most likely take the money or support. And then he would have nothing more than he had beforehand, and he would just feel more depressed, because he would gain nothing. He would get nothing from that. He'd get no support and he'd get no money because there's nothing he needs to do what his passion more.
Well, we have 7 listener questions left. So I think we should just rattle off our ones and then go through the listener questions.
I don't think we need to bother with my third one because it's essentially the body switch question again, just specifically for the characters. So I don't think we should bother with mine.
My third question would be, is there any theories/conspiracies that come to your heads right now for the current arc/campaign you are currently in?
Ooh, so many.
Yes, it's quite a lot.
What's the biggest one then?
Fucking
Casper's a
cultists.
phoenix. Oh, sorry.
No. Whoa! The government is corrupt. Is that even a conspiracy?
No.
That's just true. It's a proven thing in this world. And then fucking cultists under them doing their secret shit, or in that lab with these experiments. Something's going on there.
There's definitely something going on. Someone high up is evil. That's the only thing I can think of. Someone high up is creating these rifts to bring back some form of evil devil or demon, and that's why I think Jeff was down there trying to prevent the demons from coming back, or was it devils, whichever way around it was, because they had noticed a reappearance of demons or devils, whichever they were, and they were trying to put it off. So I think Jeff was actually good, obviously. And there's someone higher up in the scale who have hired the shadow maggots to try and, get these rifts going, But I think it could be I can't remember what they were called, but the people that didn't agree to the truce.
Oh, the Elven Kingdom.
Yeah,
Ilfa Thorin.
Yeah. Maybe. But I don't know, something's going on in it.
Yes, shenanigans are afoot.
Well, we don't care, because all we care about is the tour, right?
Yeah, that's such a good
The tour
answer.
to save the world.
Compared to what I was thinking, because the only thing that popped into my head was that space rabies doesn't actually come from space.
That's a falsity.
What even is
Don't be
space?
silly, Rayla. We know it comes from space. We're scientists.
The only theory that I think I care to share that isn't weird and small and just very specific, then it is I really do believe that in some manner that a concert is going to need to be played to effectively defeat the whole purple
Save the world.
shit. I think it is going to legitimately end up having to be one final concert, just this massive battle where Neil is leading a band to just fight everything up. I believe that with my whole heart.
Rayla, what's your last question?
My last question is, if your character went to a carnival, what would be the first thing they do? What would they do? First instinct.
Ooh.
What are those things called?
I don't know.
What are they called? Mind readers kind of thing?
Oh,
What's it
fortune
called?
teller.
Oh, yeah.
Fortune tellers, thank you. Oh, he would definitely want to go to a fortune teller and ask if he's ever going to have the pen again. No, he just wants to know about his life, if he's made right choices, blah, 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 blah.
Do they have apple bobbing at this?
I mean, it's just a carnival. You
They
get
have
to
carrot
decide.
bobbing.
Carrot bobbing.
Carrot bobbing.
Carrot bobbing.
I'd love a carrot bob. Oof. He might just look at contraptions, how mechanisms work. I could kill someone with this. He's gonna think
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
Oh my god. He really is going to turn into a murderer.
Popcorn.
It's
That's
yellow.
yellow and
It's
nice.
yellow.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
It's a good answer.
Yeah, man.
that's tasty. That's great.
Popcorn. There
You
we
know-
go. Cool.
That was actually one of my my ideas too. Popcorn and cotton candy.
I can't wait for us to go to a carnival in game.
I do think if there was a petting zoo, he would also go to the petting zoo. But
Yes. Yeah, Casper would, if not popcorn and cotton candy, would probably try to win himself something, and if he doesn't win, he will steal it. Probably.
Bumper cars, air gun.
Yeah. Makes sense. Hope he gets whiplash.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, what's your last question?
My last question, I think, is Casper.
Yes.
Did Casper come from an egg? If so, what colour was the egg? And does Casper have siblings? Which we kind of already answered, but...
Well, you see, technically speaking, he does come from an egg. But not the version of himself that he's right now comes from an egg. The origin point is an egg. At some point in the timeline of Casper, there was an egg. He does not know the color of this egg, but I would theorize something. He likes blue, so probably blue, maybe. Or purple, or green. One of those, maybe. But when it comes to siblings, he does not know if he has biological ones, but he does have, like, within his family relations, he has family. And people he would consider maybe siblings.
Cool. Thank you. Egg.
Sam, what's your last question?
My last question is, Mr. Dungeon Master,
Hello.
this one's for you. On a scale of 1, so why do I even try? How well do we follow the plot? Like, actually.
So far, not including future episodes, you guys have followed it pretty well.
Not including.
So far in the podcast, up to episode 10, you guys have followed the plot very well. You guys have been very on task and very.
So we're winning.
Winning.
We stuck to the script, baby.
I wouldn't say that, but you are on plot. So I guess on a scale of 1 to why do I even try, it would be, yeah, they're alright.
Yeah, right. Alright, I'll take that.
And Matt, you said to skip your last one.
To be fair, I could ask the question and see if it's worth answering, and then just go from there. Or
Sure.
No.
Try it.
Sure, yeah,
Right.
go for it.
For your character specifically, choosing beforehand how long it'd last, without the ability to change your mind afterwards, who in the group would you switch bodies with, and what would you do or seek while in said person's body? So like specifically for your character is the only massive difference.
I would definitely jump into Pier's body and flamethrow everything. Wouldn't even blink twice.
How long would you do it?
As long as until I got bored.
Well,
I'd
you've
burn
got
down
to
a few cities.
predetermine the time.
Neil would just want to get on that flamethrower and just burn everything. It'd just be so much fun for being Neil anyway. Not that
There's
Neil's
so much power in that flamethrower.
Yeah, he's so used to a feeble body, getting into a masculine
Roided up
horseman
horse. Yeah.
with a giant flamethrower in the back. Why would he not enjoy himself? Anyway, that's me. No one wants to get in Neil's body.
2 minutes. Casper, cloaca, no cloaca. Done.
Just wants an answer, I see.
Yeah.
Is the greatest mystery of this campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Casper, for now, I think pure just because he wants to be able to run around free. Just use those horse legs. But also because then he would possibly be able to read, and he could read the contract that he signed, because he's still really
You don't need to read
unsure
contracts.
if it actually says what it says or not.
So close.
Suspicious.
So close.
Yeah.
This close.
Better luck next time.
Yeah, so Calibumpus would jump straight into Neil for like 2 seconds, just to get his bearings, like for long enough, which 2 seconds would be, and then pop back out, and their whole purpose would be, I've been sent here to look after this person. Let's get a look. Let's get a feel.
Fill my shoes or whatever it's called.
It would make it easier to emulate Neil's movement, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be all Calibumpus wanted to do.
Question number 1 of the last 6 is for Casper.
Okay.
Is Casper planning on using the owlbear as a mount?
Wasn't originally, but that's a really great idea.
2. If you could make one change to your character, what would it be?
Ooh.
Smaller.
What is it,
Bigger.
like meta? Meta, or like just like before we start the campaign, what would I change now?
Before the campaign, I guess. It just says if you could change one thing.
I would change a few of his spells. Neil's spells. I think I need something more. I didn't want him being combat based because that's not really him. I wanted him very social, but I think I need a couple of more. Now I do, but I think I needed more combat based spells to begin with.
Yeah, mine would just be size ratio.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Casper
Less horse.
would like to fly. Or I would just make sure that he's actually able to read. But it wouldn't be as funny if he could.
It's true.
I have one. Take heavy armor proficiency.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You should have done that.
that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, well. I have time.
Next question. Are there many differences between playing D&D in real life compared to on a podcast?
Yes.
There's many.
Yep.
Yes.
Because,
Next.
yeah, so many. Fucking having to describe things a lot more in detail than
Yeah.
ever before.
Thinking about things a lot more before you say them,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
is one for me. I regret some small things, small decisions, but
Mhm.
yeah, thinking deeply into your decisions is something I have to think about before I say anything.
Mhm.
Because they're for life. Like Neil has one testicle for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
What?
Poor Neil.
I forgot
man.
you said that.
Do you not remember when we were talking about? Do you not remember?
Yeah, when
Like episode 3 or 4.
when
Someone.
Pierre was showing his
Yeah.
testicles or something.
Well, now Neil forever has one testy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Well, I'm just gonna say I do not have enough experience with real life Dungeons and Dragons, like in person, to actually have input on this. I just think it's pretty fucking dope. Either way.
Yeah,
I just think
love it.
some things
I
is
love it.
easier when you're in person, like describing things or drawing out things. A lot of people use miniatures and make landscapes to illustrate what they want to do. But I feel like you might fall into the trap of everything becoming very technical and I move these many spaces forward. So if you like theater of the mind, it's actually maybe even better to do it
Mhm.
virtually.
It's definitely more.
Yeah.
You think it's more creative, I think, without maps and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, you have
Oh,
to
sure.
think more. Okay, next question. Who would be the most likely to derail the main quest for selfish goals/treasures?
Might be Peer. Selfish goals. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
less selfish, more.
I mean,
hot-headed.
this whole plot is for Neil to play in his band. So I think straight off
Yeah.
the bat, it might not be derailing, but straight off the bat, Neil is very selfish in that regard. But other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, Pierre has his own reasons, doesn't he?
It's less being selfish, it's just more being hot-headed, and decisions are made for him being hot-headed.
I mean,
that
hot-headedness is kind of selfishness, right?
In a way, yeah.
It's like, realistically,
like-
everything Zakatavumpus does is selfish, right? But it's like mostly together, whereas hot-headedness would actually be like just another selfish trait.
This is true.
Yeah, I would lean towards Peer and Sakatawampus also. I was initially leaning towards Sakatawampus just because selfishness in itself is just if you're only I mean the thing is I don't even like the term selfish just personally speaking, because I feel like a lot of people when they listen to their own needs and try to satisfy them, even if they are in like healthy manners, a lot of people are quick to call it selfish when it's just taking care of yourself. But yeah, I feel like the driving force of Sakatawampus is the whims, aka what they
Yeah.
feel like. So yeah, per definition, it would probably be Sakatawampus.
I thought Neil.
Okay.
I mean, that's purely
Yeah,
because
yeah,
his
yeah.
whole thing
In a
is,
most
is
stereotypical way, yeah.
yeah.
What was the inspiration for each of your characters, if any?
I like that question.
And if there is none, what made you want to play them anyway?
If anyone's familiar with the YouTube channel Evenflow,
Oh
No.
god, yeah, shit.
If anyone knows Even Flow on YouTube, that is pretty much the sole inspiration of Peer. The Irish farmers who just go fucking nuts. that and Pete and Diesel, the band. That's really it.
I can't think of a reason why I made Neil. I just start writing. I remember I made 3 characters before Neil, and I deleted them all. And then I came to Neil, and I think I just decided. I just started writing. I think once I started writing, I didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted to play a dwarf. That's all I knew. I knew I wanted to play a dwarf, and I wanted to play someone magical, and that was really it. I wanted to play someone very social, so that's kind of where it came from. And then I just started writing, and then his character developed.
No. Mine's very similar to that. Except the only difference would be that Zakalavumpus kind of changed massively during a period where it wasn't certain that he was going to actually be a player character and more of a guest. And then when it changed back, I had to combine the 2 points to make what he is now. Instead of being the original Calavumpus, he was now a mix between a lot of fucking weird shit. And so here he is. But yeah, the first thought I had for him was going on a walk and then just going like, Calavumpus, and that was it. Made something out of it.
Yeah, fair.
Well, Casper, origin story. It's all started with, I like birds. Birds are cool. I like small little guys. I like them so scrungly. And I it wasn't even, the freaking magpie idea just came after trying to brainstorm owl species that I would like to play. And I was like, dude, I like them all, so I'll just settle for, magpies, which I've always liked. I've always loved magpies from the very, very beginning, from the origin of me. Yeah. And then, again, I'm an ideas person. I just need a spark, and then something will happen. That's why I have like 18 background characters that we might not even explore ever.
Okay. And last question. What is the dream for the podcast in everyone's minds?
Selling loads of fucking merch, getting big bags.
I'm excited for the merch. I'm very excited for the merch.
Yeah.
I've been working a lot on merch.
Yeah, because we haven't mentioned it on the podcast. We will have merch coming soon. I guess mine isn't really any fucking lofty. I don't want to necessarily be the next Critical Role. It would be nice, but I just want to play games with my friends and tell stories and have fun and spread joy. Yay!
Share the vibes. Yeah.
Bringing our characters to life as well. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Like even just seeing some of the small animations that have been made. And just like creating the story together, I think for me is and like Sam says, merch.
Creative outlets in all forms, money making included.
A specialty beer.
Oh, okay. A specialty beer.
I just feel like Gust of Wanderlust would be a very interesting name for a bitter. And I drink the shit out of that.
That would be cool. I was just thinking, the fact that my introduction to roleplay, or like serious roleplay, like this and Dungeons and Dragons, to see that develop with time, like how I roleplay, maybe like, for future campaigns, maybe we'll see. Maybe if that happens, or just in this campaign, see how it develops. So very selfish reasons, I guess. But also, yeah, the collective storytelling part and the fact that we can share it with people. I can look back on the first episode in like 10 years and be like, wow, that's cringe.
That brings an end to our list of questions that we have. Thank you, everyone.
One more to
okay.
quickly ask.
Okay.
So this is for the group. So if Batman had a bad breakup with Catwoman after getting into baseball, would he go by the name Bat-a-Catman?
Thank you, everyone, for the questions.
Thank you, everyone, for the questions.
Yes, thank you, everyone, who sent in questions.
Means a lot.
And yeah, it means the world that you keep listening, and even despite everything.
We've had some hiccups along the way, but that's what makes it a proper podcast.
But yeah, thank you for all the questions, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wahoo! See you next time. Woo!